Hello everyone. Today in chapter chemical bonding, I'm going to talk about valence bond theory and overlap of atomic orbitals. Valence bond theory. The Cossel and Lewis approach in chemical bonding was the first step to understand the chemical bond. And these are the advanced theory, that means valence bond theory and molecular orbital theory are two approaches for understanding the nature of chemical bond. So let's understand first valence bond theory. In order to explain the covalent bonding, Hitler and London developed valence bond theory on the basis of wave mechanics. And this theory was further explained by Pauling and Slater. So the postulate of this theory are: number one is a covalent bond is formed when the half-filled valence orbital of one atom overlap with the half-filled valence orbital of the another atom. There should be unpaired electron in valence orbital and two orbitals used to overlap with each other to form the covalent bond. The second postulate is the electrons in the half-filled valence orbital must have opposite spins. We already know that in structure of atom we have learnt. During bond formation, the half-filled orbitals overlap and the opposite spins of electrons get neutralized. The increased electron density decreases the nuclear repulsion and energy released during the overlapping of orbitals. Next postulate is saying greater the extent of overlapping in between the orbitals having unpaired electron, the stronger bond is formed. However, complete overlap of orbital does not take place due to the intermolecular repulsion. Next is, if one atom possesses more than one unpaired electron, then it can form more than one bond. Like we have heard single, double, triple covalent bond. So the number of bond formed will be equal to the number of half-filled orbitals in the valence shell. We can say that the number of unpaired electron present in the subshell. Next postulate is the distance at which the attractive and repulsion forces balance each other is the equilibrium distance between the nuclei and bonded atoms, and at this distance the total energy of bonded atom is minimum and the stability of the molecule would be maximum. Next postulate is electrons which are paired in the valence shell do not participate in bond formation. However, in an atom, if there is one or more vacant orbital present, then these electrons can unpair and participating in bonding, and the energy of filled and vacant orbitals different slightly from each other. And the last is during bond formation, s orbital which is spherical can overlap in any direction, but the p orbital can overlap only in x, y, z direction. Similarly, the same case will happen in case of d subshell and f subshell also, because these two orbitals are oriented in certain direction in space and they overlap only in these directions. Thus, the covalent bond is directional in nature. Now, next is interacting forces during covalent bond formation. According to valence bond theory, we have understood covalent bond is formed by the overlapping of two half-filled atomic orbitals, and the bonded atoms are stable than the free atoms, and the energy of bonded atom is less than that of free atoms. That is why we are calling them the molecule is getting stabilized. Actually, this has happened due to the interactive forces which develop between the nuclei of two atoms and also their electrons. These forces may be attractive forces and may be repulsion forces. And both the forces used to act on both the atoms which are bonding with each other. Now, I am saying you these forces may be attractive or repulsive forces between the nuclei, suppose, of atom A and the electrons of B, and those arising from attraction between the nuclei of atom A and electrons of B, and also the repulsion of electrons. The balance between the attractive and repulsive forces decide whether the bond will form or not. When the attractive forces are stronger than the repulsive forces, then the overlap will be taking place and the bond will be formed. But if the repulsive forces is higher or stronger, then the bond will not form. And as soon as the attractive forces are stronger, what will happen? The bond will form, the orbitals will overlap, and the energy of system is lowered down. Let's see the graph which is right there on the screen. The lowering down of energy during the bond formation is depicted in the potential energy diagram. For example, hydrogen molecule. Hydrogen molecule is formed by the combination of two hydrogen atom. Both the hydrogen atom is having one electron. So both the hydrogen atom is having 1s orbital. When two atoms are very much far away with each other, there is no interaction. When they are coming closer with each other, what will happen? The energy of the system is the sum of the potential energy of two atoms, which is arbitrarily is taken as 0. Now, the repulsive forces will stabilize the system with increased energy of the system, while attractive forces decrease the energy. And it is found that during the formation of hydrogen molecule, the magnitude of newly developed attractive forces contribute more than the newly developed repulsive forces. As a result, the energy of the system will decrease and the bond will form. Here you are seeing this is the equilibrium distance where the bond is formed in between the two hydrogen atoms to form a molecule H2. Here at this point of time, what will happen? The molecule is having lower energy and it is stable. Now, if two atoms are pushed away from each other, now what will happen? The repulsive force will become more predominant and energy of system will start increasing and the stability will decrease. This is what we are seeing here in the diagram. So these are the interactive forces during the bond formation. Now we will understand how these orbital overlaps. Orbital overlap concept or overlap of atomic orbital. Formation of bond has been explained by the overlapping of atomic orbital of same energy and symmetry. Now let's see this. If two atoms orbital are mixed with each other partially during bond formation, this phenomena is called overlapping of orbital. Formation of bond has been explained by the overlap of atomic orbitals having same energy and symmetry. Greater the overlapping, stronger is the bond. We have learnt in valence bond theory, the atomic orbital holding the electron vary in shape, energy and symmetry. So the extent of overlap depending upon the shape and the size of the orbital. On the basis of these considerations, we have two types of bonds. We have sigma bond and we have pi bond. Now, sigma bond. Sigma bond is formed by the overlapping of two s orbitals like this. Here s and s are overlapping with each other to give you sigma bond, or one s is overlapping with one p orbital, or one pz is overlapping with another pz orbital. Now ss overlapping, for example in hydrogen molecule, here one s orbital is overlapping with another 1s orbital along with internuclear axis to form sigma bond here. Example I told you just now is H2 molecule. Now S and P overlapping. In this type of overlapping, one half filled s orbital of one atom and one half filled p orbital of another orbital along with the internuclear axis will overlap. Like this, you will get sigma bond. Example, hydrogen fluoride molecule. And the last is P and P. When half filled orbital of two atoms, that is pz and pz overlap along with internuclear axis, you will get sigma bond. And the example of such overlapping is fluorine molecule, F2 molecule. Now pi bond. Pi bond is formed by the overlapping of p orbital or pi orbitals. When two half-filled orbitals of two atoms overlap laterally like this or sideways, it is called pi overlapping, and it is perpendicular to the internuclear axis. So this is how pi bond is formed. Thank you.